Hello, my name's Twilight Sparkle, and I just want to introduce you to El Pablo! Yay!
Yes, thank you, Twilight. Hello, folks. I'm El Pablo, and this is my story on Ask Chubby Apple Bloom. In the beginning. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's two inspirations on my blog. One is from this image right here, boom, and also from this Ask blog, Ask Chubby Twilight, where in that blog, it's you follow Twilight and help her gain weight along with her friends. So, with my idea, it's an alternative timeline from the canon show. I believe episode 12 or something. It's where Apple Bloom was trying to get her cutie mark in that episode, and trying many attempts with Rainbow Dash, she meets up with Pinkie Pie, who tells her that she'll get a cutie mark if she eats cupcakes. So, from that episode, when they go to the Sugar Cube corner, there weren't supposed to be any cupcakes there, but with my story, the cupcakes are there, and she eats those and gets her cutie mark from that. So yeah, it's basically Ask Chubby Twilight, but with the show standard. And I wanted to keep Apple Bloom's characteristics in my blog, so it's kind of hard to be doing that with a mindset or something. I don't know. Like, I just want to keep her a little bit sassy or whatever. So, Apple Bloom's talent is eating cupcakes. And that's why I started this blog. So, along with this alternative timeline, I made Apple Bloom not be friends with Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, because she spent her time eating cupcakes in the kitchen at Sugar Cube Corner. Instead, I made her be friends with two color-swapped ponies of Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo named Sun Glimmer and Archer, and I made them like jerks just as Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. It's just that Apple Bloom is just agreeing with them and whatever they say and trying to be cool and whatever. So with the first story I did, Meet Sweetie Belle, it's where Sweetie Belle is staying over at Sweet Apple Acres, and Applejack tells Apple Bloom to watch over her and do stuff with her, and Sun Glimmer and Archer just pick on her for being a crybaby and not having a cutie mark, and then making fun of Scootaloo, and then Apple Bloom makes a remark, and she starts crying and whatever. So Apple Bloom goes to sleep and meets up with Squishy Luna, the guest of the blog. And she has a fear of not making friends with the non-cutie mark ponies, and that Apple Bloom should just stand up to Sun Glimmer and Archer just to be friends with Sweetie Belle. And I'm working on the second part of that story, Meets Scootaloo, which before that, I had to continue on with where I left off with Apple Bloom bumping into Doctor Who's. The production. So the thing I use for Chubby Apple Bloom is an application called Colors 3D for the Nintendo 3DS. You could download it on the eShop for $7. It's a good software to use, but you're restricted to 5 layers, and it doesn't have a lot of brush options like Photoshop or any other software out there. So it's simple to use, but the thing is that I'm using a regular 3DS, not the XL, and holding the thing gets my hands all cramped up. And with the stylus that's with the 3DS, it's very small and I get really cramped up from holding the thing, so I use a Legend of Zelda stylus pen, and it's the same size as a bigger pen, and I use that for the touchscreen to draw. I do not own a drawing tablet like other Tumblr artists out there, and I don't have Paint Tool Sci, but I do have Adobe Photoshop, but it's an older version of it, CS2, and I also have Adobe Illustrator CS2, which I use both of those for the big projects like the stories meets Sweetie Belle and other things for it. That's what I use Photoshop for. But the small posts, I use it for the Colors 3D just to do a quick sketch of it. So this website right here is called Colors Live. This is the website where I upload all my drawings from my 3DS within. This is how I first did all the posts for Chubby Apple Bloom. I upload it here on the website, move it to Photoshop to put the question on top of it, and then posting it to Tumblr. As we go to the first drawing of Apple Bloom, you see I do 3 quick circle sketches, and then doing the outline in front of it, and then doing the fill in the middle, and then merging them, and then deleting the sketch layer. Like I said before about Colors 3D being restricted to 5 layers, I do the body outline first, and then behind it I do the hair outline, and then I merge them together. And then going to the back layer of it, I do the bow outline and merging them together. And afterwards, I fill out the outlines with color. And then after that, I merge the outline and the fill together, and then deleting the sketch layer. As we go back to the gallery to the New Year's drawing, I do the same thing as before, but I do a sketch outline first on top of the circles. So I'll see what I'm doing for the outline, but the technique is still the same, merging together, merging it back, whatever. I do the same thing if there's like 1 or more characters on it, but afterwards, after I draw whatever pony I'm doing, I move it to the top layer, and then I do all the background stuff in different layers. Like I'll do the ground layer first, like making the floor, and then behind that I'll do the red background, and then in front of that I put in the white outline, and then going back to the red layer I draw the texture on it so you'll know that we're at the barn, and I merge all those together. If there's going to be extra stuff on there like a speech bubble or the banner, I'll merge the background and then put it in the back, and then pick a random layer to put the extra stuff on there, and then I'm done. And that's what I do for Colors 3D. So as we move on to Photoshop, I'm going to use one of the sketches that I posted on Tumblr. This Photoshop right here is not my own, it's my school's, so don't tell no one. But the Photoshop at home, I use CS2. The one here is CC, the Creative Cloud, and the tools, what I use is the same here. And the main tool that I use is called the pen tool. And with the pen tool, I make paths for the outline with the brush size at 5 with the hardness of 100%, so it doesn't have a feathering effect on the brush. So after creating the outline, I make a secondary outline of the brush size at 3 and making paths for that. And then after I'm done with that, I create 3 new layers on top of that, the outline layer, and holding the Alt key and clicking in between the layers. What that does, it instead of like doing something on top of it, it's going to do it within the layer itself. So coloring the outline with what I did using my reference sheet, selecting the yellow, red, and the pink for the outline. When I'm coloring on the layer, it's going to color on top of the outline instead of going everywhere. So after that, I do some extra touches to it, and then after I get done with that, I group all the layers into one and calling it the stroke. Then I make a new layer and setting the pen tool up again to make shapes instead of paths. So with that, it's going to fill out everything inside the outline. And as you can see, the red mane on Apple Bloom is kind of darker than the outline. So clicking on the white box of the shape layer, I could change how I want the color to be with inside of it instead of redoing the whole thing. So that's what's good about the pen tool. When making shapes, you can just make the shape and then recolor it however you want. And then for the eyes, what I do is I make the shape for the eye, and then I create the iris for the eye, and then making a copy of it and then moving it to its place. So how I hide the iris so it won't be out of the eye, I make a layer mask for the iris, and from making the layer mask, I can control click on the eye shape and then making sure that the foreground color is white, so I can hit delete and the iris will be in place, so there's no huge iris on top of the eye. And then I group that together. So after I make all the shapes for the fill, I group all those layers together and calling that group fill. And that's pretty much it for making Chubby Apple Bloom on Photoshop. So yeah, okay, now it's Q&A time. But sadly I only got one question, but it's a good one. So Golden Ace X asked, will Apple Bloom get a boy/cult friend? For that, maybe she'll get one, but I don't think I mentioned that I made Apple Bloom 15, 16-ish, but it's just that I don't know who I'll partner Apple Bloom with. If y'all want her to be with a canon character like Pip or was it some other random cult from MOP, maybe I'll do it, but I just don't think it will fit right for this blog. But if you want Apple Bloom to be with somebody, your OC, I don't know. I just don't know what kind of boyfriend, girlfriend Apple Bloom might have, but I don't know. Just it's a good question, but I don't know really. Hopefully it will be somebody. I just don't know who or whatever. So yeah, this is the origins of Apple Bloom. I hope you like this video, and it's been a good 1 year of Chubby Apple Bloom, and I hope to finish the story that I was continue on, and then move on to meet Scootaloo, and hopefully I'll get back to all the randomness. So this is El Pablo, and I'll see y'all next time.